So for my level, I use the Far Cry 5 arcade editor and made an outpost game mode style where you have to go and start from a location and then secure the outpost. You can do it loud or stealthy. There is different loadouts that I made. So the assault one, which is a loud build that is meant for just running gunning, and then there's the stealth build that is meant for quietly taking down the actual base itself. Inside there's some grenades on the table that I just picked up. You can pick up some ammo, and then there's also a recurve bow in case you decide that you'd rather have the recurve bow instead of the AK. But all the guns and weapons are kitted out to be stealthed. And then I put in some different animals around the area throughout all of the environment. There's birds and bears and moose, and deer and such. The player starts here at this cabin with a vehicle and then has the pathway that leads directly to the outpost. Along the pathway, though, the main road, there is this side path which leads them up the mountains over further north. That'll eventually lead them to the cliff that's right above the outpost, allowing them to have a sniping position for them to follow. I tried to do more of a snowy aesthetic feel vibe to the map to try and make it a little bit more wintry, just because I personally enjoy the winter. So the outpost itself has 2 or 3 alarms that the enemies can trigger. So if the enemies attempt to trigger the alarm, then they'll run and do that, and reinforcements will begin to be called. The reinforcements come from over there along this dirt path. They have 3 trucks with mounted machine guns on them, allowing them to be able to come in and mess up your day if you go in loud and proud. That's effectively how the level works whenever you're actually playing it. Otherwise, here's one alarm at the entry, and you can shoot the alarm boxes to disable them. There's a second one between these 2 snipers and this church, and then the last one is right here by this warehouse. There's quite a few enemies. I tried to make the level itself a little bit more of a harder outpost to take and manage, just because I feel like the base game itself has a lot of really easy to take outposts that don't pose much of a threat. So I tried to make it feel like it was an actual challenging one, like I intended to do in my design document. I also wanted to have a river come down, like a waterfall that curves into a river that runs like through kind of the center of it. But the water was kind of hard to get to work in this editor, and I couldn't end up figuring it out, so I just scrapped the idea, and instead I put a cliff up here for you to be able to snipe from with a cougar, as to kind of like make you have to work for your angle and everything aside from just traveling. The reinforcements are over here off that dirt path, the second one, and they'll all hop in that car and then come to this path and join in on the fight. The alternative route that the player can take is up through here with some varying animals, and they'll come right here and they can work their way over to this if they want, or just walk along the cliff until they're around here and look down on the location. But otherwise, that's basically the whole of the map. All the interior has its own custom design works and stuff as well. All of them are, for the most part, loaded with environmental stuff, so couches and furniture and such. And the AI will walk around the area and everything, all suited and actually use the environment properly. There's also ladders that I placed on the buildings where these guys can get up and down if they so desire, and more can join them or leave, and so on. And then the guards themselves will only patrol in a radius around the outpost where these alarms are. They don't tend to leave it unless something provokes them to, being a wild animal, which normally doesn't happen because the wild animals are supposed to remain neutral to the enemy AI, unless they're in like a vehicle, or the player provokes them. yeah, that's the whole of my map.